Happy Easter break, SportsLine viewers. I was planning on throwing all of the bunny and Easter puns at you, but I fell asleep an hour before the show, and quite frankly, I'm just trying to hop to it. See, I still managed to sneak one in. Hello, I'm Meghan Cooney.
And I'm Charlie Hugg. I guess Meghan's sleepiness leaves it to me to wish every bunny excellent and happy Easter. See, Meghan, it's not that hard. You're watching LaSalle TV's home for Explorer Athletics, SportsLine.
Welcome to SportsLine. It was a short week, but we were still jam-packed with Explorer sports.
And later, Aidan sat down with Kate Hall about her powerlifting career. You won't want to miss it.
But first, let's take a look at our SportsLine top 3.
Number 1, the LaSalle men's rowing team has been ranked number 16 in the National Intercollegiate Rowing Coaches Association, Intercollegiate Rowing Association D1, D2 preseason top 25 poll. The team beat number 17 ranked Drexel last week and will face 4 more ranked teams throughout the 2024 season. Number 2,
freshman Martina Bonet-Saez was named MAAC Co-Rookie of the Week this week. Bonet-Saez helped lead the Explorers water polo team to a 2-1 record last week, racking up 10 goals, 2 assists, and a steal over the 3 games. This is the Explorers' first conference award of the season, and Bonet-Saez is the first Explorer to win Rookie of the Week honors since Francesca Coe did so in 3 consecutive weeks during the 2022 season.
Number 3, Nevaeh Davis has been named this week's NovaCare Student Athlete of the Week. Davis came in first place in the 100-meter run at the Penn Challenge this week with a time of 12.3 seconds.
All right, so it's short to say that spring sports are completely back in action, so that's super exciting. First, I guess let's talk about men's rowing, being ranked number 16, just 1 point ahead of number 17 ranked Drexel, which I feel like is definitely a big competition for them. We know that they beat them in their game they had last week, and they play Georgetown tomorrow, so that should be super exciting to see what they do, but I'm very hopeful for their season.
Yeah, I mean, they made their way. So this is a preseason rank, but last year during the season, they earned themselves that ranking, and so now they're just building on it, getting a higher rank. I think that's really cool, especially for a program like LaSalle, who's, compared to the other rowing kind of programs, they're a little smaller, but that's awesome that they're right up there. They beat Drexel. I think that may have given them the edge to give them 16 and Drexel 17, which is pretty cool. I know they have one big challenge coming up in a few weeks against Cal, which is the number 1 ranked preseason team, so that'll be interesting. 3 other ranked teams that they're going to see. And a few coming up shortly, so that'll be really interesting to keep an eye on.
Yeah, I feel like I have a lot of faith in this team. They really have given it their all last season. They're a hard team, and I feel like a lot of the players are very committed and very dedicated. You have to be committed and dedicated to get up at 4 a.m. and head out on the Schuylkill River. Yeah. So I feel like I said, I have a lot of faith for them this season. Beating Drexel was a really good beacon of hope for the start of their season, and so I feel like it'll be good from here on out.
Yeah, absolutely. And then back to a name we've mentioned plenty of times, Martina Bonet-Saez winning the MAC Co-Rookie of the Week. Awesome. I mean, she's just performing not only amazing on the LaSalle team, but as you can see in the conference as a whole, winning this award, one that doesn't come easy. It hasn't been given to an Explorer since Francesca Coe, so I know we'll get into her more later, but she had a great week, and she definitely earned it.
Yeah, and then shout out to Nevaeh Davis for getting NovaCare Student Athlete of the Week. I know we'll get back into it, but Penn Challenges is tough, so congratulations to her. And that's it for the top 3. Now let's see how our teams did in this week's recaps. The LaSalle track and field program kicked the outdoor portion of their season with a strong showing at the Penn Challenge, hosted by the University of Pennsylvania. Nevaeh Davis dominated the women's 100-meter, while Soleil Morrison secured first place in the 200-meter. In the 400-meter dash, both men and women showcased their skills, with Justice Quano leading the men's team in 10th place and Lenice Green impressing with a 6th place finish. Julia Flood and Ella Varello set personal bests in the 1,500 meter, with Flood also securing a top 10 finish. Among the standout performances was freshman sprinter Chisholm Ogbudo, who achieved a top 10 finish in the men's 100-meter dash. Morrison continued her stellar form from the indoor season, clinching another victory in the 200-meter dash with an impressive time of 24.95 seconds.
This past Saturday, LaSalle women's lacrosse fell to the VCU Rams in a hard-fought battle. From the get-go, both sides seemed to be warming up slowly on the offensive front, with VCU seizing most of the early opportunities. Mary Babbage stood strong in goal, racking up 3 saves before the first goal found the back of the net 6 minutes into the first half. Maddie Henderson swiftly responded for LaSalle, keeping it a tight 2-1 game at the end of the first. The second quarter started stronger as Lola Quigley has had her best performance of the season. Quigley wasted no time, securing a second quarter hat trick. She leveled the score with a 3-3 with a goal in the 6-minute, 14-second mark in the second half, and moments later, the senior netted her third to give LaSalle the edge. Unfortunately, though, VCU had a woman-up situation, allowing them to net more goals in favor to them. LaSalle was held scoreless as VCU notched 3 more goals, entering the final quarter with a 7-4 lead. Despite the Explorers' bold effort, including a goal by Mackenzie Click at the 11-minute 57-second mark in the fourth, and another strike from Lola Quigley at 9-minute 41 seconds, bringing her total to 4 goals in the game, and Katie Johnson and Claudia Steinmetz chipped in with goals for the Explorers, but it wasn't enough to alter the final outcome. Quigley included a new career high in shots and shots on goal, totaling 5. Although the outcome wasn't what they had hoped for, the LaSalle women's lacrosse team displayed grit and determination throughout as they fell 12-8.
Water polo traveled to Long Island for a doubleheader this weekend. They first took on Wagner. The game started with a swift 2 goals from Wagner, followed by a goal from both Francesca Coe and Sofia Kolovau to end the first quarter tied 2-2. Both teams went back and forth for the majority of the second, with both Coe and Tatum Lomax both adding a goal to make the score 4-3. Wagner came back with 5 minutes left, scoring 5 goals to make the score 8-4 going into the half. A goal from Casey Malone started the third quarter off with a bang, but Wagner quickly combated with 3 goals to expand their lead to 6 points. The Explorers kept up the fight, with Lomax scoring back-to-back goals to help decrease the deficit. The teams would continue to trade goals for the rest of the quarter to make the score 13-9. In the final quarter, Coe, Lomax, and Carlotto Zandelli all scored, but it wasn't enough, and the Explorers would fall 20-13. Later in the day, they would take on LIU. The Sharks came out swinging, going on a 4-0 run to begin the game. Coe was able to get the Explorers on the board with 2 points in the final 2 minutes of the quarter. LIU went on a 4-1 run in the second quarter as well, with Martina Bonet-Sayas scoring the lone goal for LaSalle. Coe tried to make a comeback at the end of the quarter, adding a goal, trimming the lead to 4 heading into the half. The third continued to be a strong game for LIU, with the Sharks scoring 3 goals compared to the lone Explorers goal coming from Kolovau. The fourth quarter was similar as the first 3, with LIU scoring 3 points to increase their lead to 9. The Explorers attempted to cut the lead by scoring the final 4 points thanks to Bonet-Sayas, Hannah Warren, and Paige Mitchell. This wasn't enough, however, and LaSalle would fall 14-9. All right, so a lot happened. I know that it was kind of a short week because we have Easter break, so not a lot of sports, but definitely a lot of things to talk about. So first, I know I just talked about water polo, so it's kind of fresh on my mind. 2 tough losses for them. I know they're kind of coming off a pretty hot streak, playing a lot of games coming out of spring break, so definitely some tough losses for them. Again, mentioning Coe, Kolovau, Martina Bonet-Sayas, all great players, definitely putting up the points. They were just 2 tough opponents this week. So
yeah, and that's really been the story of the season, is they're a really, really good team, and you see it when they play teams that they should be beating. They're blowing them out, and then they get to the ranked teams, and those are really have been the only losses that they've had all season is against the ranked teams, and it shows that they're right there. They're right on the cusp. They're not getting blown out by these good teams, or by the ranked teams. They're really hanging in, and they're kind of doing what they need to do to put the pieces in place that they can build upon. And I think you see Coe, she has another season. She's really taking over as the leader of this team. And with another season ahead of her, I think they only have places to go up. I think they can only improve from where they're at. And I would be very surprised if they don't see a ranked number next to them at some point next year. They've been playing great. Again, Bonet-Sayas is getting the nod. It comes down to they're having players that are not only good on a LaSalle program, which you can see with some sports that they're really good LaSalle players, but sometimes they don't get the recognition in the conference. But the awards are coming in, and I mean they're earning every accolade that they're getting this season. Bonet-Sayas more than earned her co-MAC Rookie of the Week nod. Francesca Coe's gotten a couple this season. They've been really impressive, and I think it's really interesting to see how the rest of this kind of plays out.
Yeah, they're definitely an impressive team, and when you're coming off of 9 games over spring break, that can be a lot for one team. You're constantly on the move, you're coming back and forth from the West Coast, and so I feel like that might have maybe also had something to do with it. I know some of these players are kind of hurting a bit because 9 games over the course of 10 days is absolutely insane. But like you said, the talent's there. They're so impressive. Francesca Coe, we can't talk enough about her. And I think that it's very appropriate that Martina Bonet-Size is kind of following in Coe's footsteps because I do see in the future her kind of taking Coe's place. As you mentioned, Coe's kind of grown to be the leader of this team, and I can definitely see Bonet-Size kind of morphing into taking over her role. But moving on to lacrosse. These poor girls. I know it was mentioned in the script that they have grit and determination, and they really do. And you can see it on the field, and they try so hard. And these losses are just becoming really, really tough for them. Yeah,
there's always going to be some bright spots, and this game, I was able to catch a good little bit of it. They looked, it was easily one of their more competitive games that they've had all season, which is good against a conference opponent. There's some bright spots again. Lola Quigley scoring 4 goals. I don't want to say it's very unlike her because that comes off negative. It's just something that she hasn't done in her career, which is cool. You always want to see improvement. She's now in her senior season scoring 4 goals in a game. Awesome to see. I know that connection came with Claudia Steinmetz. So 2 of them came in free possession goals. Had they all gone in the first tie, it would have been 3 assists between that pair. So seeing a connection like that brewing, again, kind of late in the season, but if they can keep that going, a connection like that where you're getting 3 assists and 4 goals a game, something to look at. I don't know. Yeah, it's tough, and it's a program that definitely has some things that they can do to work with. But they're fighting out there, and they're giving it their all. So that's kind of all you can ask for, right?
Yeah, I kind of think improvement is the top word for that team there. But we're going to take a quick break. But when we come back, we got an inside look at one of LaSalle's strongest students. Stay tuned.
Seniors how to prevent Medicare scams.
If you get a phone call, do not talk to the person.
Never give out your Medicare number.
They're going to get your number to put in a false claim.
Just hang up.
How do you detect Medicare fraud?
Just like I check my credit card statements, I check my Medicare statements monthly.
If you get your statement and you see something that you know you did not have done, you report it.
Call the Senior Medicare Patrol.
If you suspect Medicare fraud, contact the Senior Medicare Patrol in your state.
Hi, I'm Joanna Van Thine, class of 2007, and you're watching LaSalle 56.
It's LaSalle TV.
Oh, right, of course. All right, I'll do it again. Hi, I'm Joanna Van Thine, class of 2007, and you're watching LaSalle 56. You're watching LaSalle 56. Oh, God! Hi, I'm Joanna Van Thine, class of 2007, and you're watching LaSalle 56. Can't do it. Hi, I'm Joanna Van Thine, class of 2007, and you're watching LaSalle 56. Oh, okay. Hi, I'm Joanna Van Thine, class of 2007, and you're watching LaSalle 56.
It's right behind you.
LaSalle 56.
TV.
LaSalle TV 6. LaSalle 56. And you're watching LaSalle 56. LaSalle 56. And you're watching LaSalle 56.
You're old.
Hey! And you're watching LaSalle TV. I did it. I did it. I'm not old.
Everyone has a community, a neighborhood, school, kids' teams, where you worship, work out, or any other place or group where you choose to belong. Communities can provide support when you need it, and even when you don't know you do. Like when it comes to preventing underage drinking and other substance use. Community members can be your eyes and ears when you're not with your kids and alert you to signs of potential problems.
Welcome back. Aidan had the chance to sit down with Kate Hall to talk about her journey with powerlifting. Let's take a look.
Hello everyone, my name is Aidan Tyksinski, and usually you see me hosting Sports Talk Philadelphia, but today I decided to help out SportsLine with an interview. Now, if you remember in a past episode, we had Charlie Cam go out and work out with the powerlifting team. So we decided to bring another powerlifter in today in Kate Hall. Kate, how are you?
I'm good, how about you?
Good, we're very happy to have you on.
Thank you for having me, I really appreciate it.
Yeah, of course. So to start out, how did you get into powerlifting?
So, I got into powerlifting last May. I would say during January, I started to question about lifting, but not powerlifting, just like going to the gym lifting. I didn't really know what I was doing, and then I was bugging my mom. I was like, Mom, I wanna powerlift. She was like, okay, well, I don't know how to help you with that.
Yeah.
And then she works in a middle school, and she took her students up to an involvement fair, and they have a powerlifting club at their high school, and she got me in touch with one of the only girl members on the club, and me and her became close friends, and she started coaching me and helping me out with powerlifting.
That's very cool.
Yes.
So when it comes to powerlifting, like you said, you started out with it just being like a recreational thing and then got into it competitively. What's the biggest difference between just working out as a powerlifter and then competitively competing for it?
So a lot of people will train as a powerlifter and call themselves a powerlifter, but they don't compete. There's a lot of controversy between that. I personally think that if you train as a powerlifter but you don't compete, you're still a powerlifter in my opinion. But if you're going to the gym just lifting and not really doing, powerlifting has three main lifts. It goes squat, bench, deadlift. A lot of people don't deadlift, so I would just say if you're going to the gym just to work out, that's the main difference. But powerlifting is more heavy on training with doing squat, bench, and deadlift. And you're normally on a program. And most of the time, powerlifters have a coach. I have a coach.
Gotcha. So when it comes to the program and the coaching, most people hear about powerlifting through the competitions, but there's a lot of work that you put in outside of the competitions.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yes, a lot of work.
So what sort of work would you be doing with your coach and just on your own as well?
So a normal week for me looks like it goes pull, lower, upper, and then lower, and then push. So pull workout, it's just a normal accessory workout with back and bicep. And then for my lower, I normally do squats and then accessory workouts for my legs. And then for upper body, I do bench. And then I do accessory workouts for my upper body. And then for lower, again, I do squat and deadlift. And then I do lower accessories. And then for push, I do bench again. And then I do chest, tricep, and shoulder accessories.
Yeah, and all that work seems to have paid off because you got your PRs back in October, I think it was, and then came in first in another competition in January. How did those achievements how did you feel about winning those competitions?
So my first that was my second competition, going to 495 strength performance. I just went in there having fun. I didn't expect I was going to win the women's best bench press award at that competition. I felt awesome. I got to have I was on a podcast with the Bars Loaded. And it just was awesome. I felt really accomplished. And then after that, me and my coach were discussing going to bench nationals in Austin, Texas in January. And I wasn't really, in general, I just want to be a world champion. I wasn't really interested in being a bench world champion or being a bench national champion. And in January, I got to go to bench nationals. I think it was a couple weeks ago I went. And I was the only girl actually in my weight class, so all I had to do was show up and compete, and you'd believe how hard that is, honestly. All I had to do was show up and compete and at least get 2 out of 3 lifts, and that's what I did.
Gotcha. So you mentioned a lot of it, you're the only woman that was competing in that one event. The one person that you talked to that was part of the club was one of the only women. What is it like competing as a woman in a sport that's very male dominated?
So competing in powerlifting as a woman, it's very, I love it, but it's also very difficult because there's a lot of people on social media who will say, oh, she's on steroids, or she's on tren, or that type of stuff. And it's very, no one has ever said that to me personally, but one of my biggest influencers that I love, she's one of my what's the word I'm trying to look for?
Someone that you really look
Yes,
up to.
yes,
Yeah.
Her name's Joy Fitness, and I actually got to meet her at Bench Nationals, and she benches 275 pounds.
Wow.
And there's a lot of people on social media who will say, oh, she looks like a man, or she's on steroids, which all of those things are not true at all. She's just a very buff girl. She's very strong. And I have a lot of respect for her. And it's just annoying in powerlifting because a lot of men will just say like, oh, she's on steroids, or because a girl's stronger than them, you know?
Right. Yeah, so talked a lot about you as a lifter. I want to get to know you a little bit personally as well. So this is your first semester on campus.
Yes.
What's your favorite part about LaSalle so far?
Hanging out with friends. I love just being with my friends all the time and just doing random stuff together. I also love going to powerlifting club. We had a practice last night and it was so fun. It was just awesome. And I also like going to Union, Treetops.
Yeah.
Treetops is starting to get annoying. I'm not loving it so much. But I love going to Union all the time and getting the pizza. It's delicious.
It's really, really good.
Yes.
So last question before we wrap up. What is your favorite event to participate in?
Like, do you mean lift? Or
Yeah.
My favorite lift is definitely bench, for sure. My least is probably, I don't like squatting or deadlifting, but I just love benching. It's my favorite lift. I would say my upper body is stronger than my lower body.
I would say the opposite for me. Kate, thanks so much for joining us today. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, we're now going to head back to our hosts on SportsLine.
We're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, we have all of this week's upcoming games. Stay tuned.
As birthplace to the first volunteer fire companies, Philadelphia is home to one of the nation's premier fire museums. Fireman's Hall Museum displays the city's fire history in addition to promoting fire safety. You can visit Fireman's Hall Museum in Old City at 147 North 2nd Street. Visit firemanshallmuseum.org to learn more, or watch the museum's show, Curator's Corner, on LaSalle TV.
Hey, I'm worried about your parents. We need to show them how to spot phishing emails.
Agreed, the scammers are out of control.
Plus, help them add multi-factor authentication.
Yes, we use MFA at work and it's great. Software update? Done. Time to celebrate.
For more information on how to keep yourself and those you care about safe online, go to cisa.gov/secure-our-world.
I drive 65,000 miles each year in my bus. If people knew what I know, lives could be saved. You don't want to be in the blind spot of a 40,000-pound bus when I have less than a second to react. I do what I can by changing lanes and taking turns slowly. It really helps when people look out for me too. Give me room to operate safely. It's our roads, it's our safety.
Dear University of...
Thank you for your offer
to become student ID number 283471.
While I appreciate your desire
for my impeccable academic record,
I must decline the opportunity
to get a generic degree.
I've decided to tell my story.
To be a student,
not a statistic.
I wish you good luck in the future
as I embark on mine.
Welcome back. We've got another week of LaSalle sports, so here's what you have to look forward to. Men's and women's rowing will both have a match on Thursday, with the men taking on Georgetown and the women taking on Bucknell. Track and field will travel to North Carolina to participate in the Raleigh Relays on Thursday. They will then travel to Princeton, New Jersey to participate in the Sam Howell Invite on Saturday.
Men's golf will travel to Berlin, Maryland over the weekend to take on Iona University, while the women will travel to Maryland to participate in the Prospect Bay Collegiate. Finally, women's lacrosse will take on St. Joe's on Saturday at 3:30.
All right, so we have all the spring sports.
All of them.
Now they're all back
Here they are.
officially. Men and women's rowing participating in competitions tomorrow. I know the men were supposed to compete earlier this week, but you were telling me about some Potomac problems,
There's
Charlie?
some problems on the Potomac. I'm still waiting to hear back from my guy, but I heard something happened. They had to push it back. So that'll be tomorrow now, which is, unfortunately why all the viewers at home missed out on men's rowing this week. I apologize. I sincerely apologize to everyone at home. But next week we'll have some more rowing for you.
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty sad and heartbreaking, but women's rowing is officially kicking off their season when they're supposed to, might I add, on Thursday against Bucknell. So that should be super exciting to see the women starting their season. Then we also have men's and women's golf starting up. I know the women already had an invitational, but the men haven't started yet, so they're both traveling to Maryland this weekend, so that should be super exciting.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to paying attention to myself, is how the golf teams go. I remember a lot of good performances last year. We'll see if they can do that again this year. See how my scores start stacking up when I am able to get out there. But no, I'm excited to see how they perform.
Yeah, I mean, maybe we could do a little Charlie cam with the
Charlie
golf.
That's not a bad idea. I'm hearing some positive chatter coming from the back. Maybe we'll have to do that. I don't know. We'll have to bring it back.
We could put you on the men's golf team for a match and see how you.
I don't think they would want that. They'd, maybe I'll go in there and tap in the putts for them when they're close enough. But
when they're just close enough. And that just about wraps it up for this week. If you can't make it out to see the Explorers play, be sure to tune in next week for our coverage. Keep up with this weekend's other sporting events by visiting goexplorers.com.
Also check us out on Facebook at facebook.com/LaSalleTV and on Instagram at SportsLine LTV. We welcome you to send us your thoughts and suggestions there.
For our entire SportsLine team, I'm Meghan Cooney.
And I'm Charlie Hugg. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you at the game.